Let's get to the phones. Nick joins us in St. Louis, Missouri. Nick, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for having me.
You bet, Nick. What's going on?
So, to make a long story short, I got fired last week.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. You doing
Thanks.
okay?
Well, it hit me really hard a week ago, but, now I've pretty much gotten over it.
Good.
It still may hit me a little bit here and there, but
It will.
I've gotten over it, and I'm trying to move forward.
Good. Well, let's talk about moving forward. Where do we want to go?
Well, I mean, I was a software engineer at my previous job, and part of me wants to keep doing that. And more so, what I want to do is be in the video game industry, programming video games. That would be like my top passion, pretty much.
Okay, why don't we go for that?
Well, I mean, I've been searching and applying for some of those jobs, but I guess I get a little impatient whenever I'm applying. It's like I'll just throw my resume without really giving it much thought.
Yeah, so that's bad.
To...
So that's really bad strategy. You're a guy who wants to design video games, and my kids, I've got a 15 and 13-year-old boy, and they play these games, and they can play these Star Wars games or these military games, and they can figure out all these stages and everything. And they really figure it out. I get in there and I try to play with them. I'm a disaster. I'm terrible because I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even read the directions. I just go in there and I try to follow along with my kids. Would you say that's a good strategy to try to play those video games well?
I'm sorry, say again?
Would you say that how I play video games is good strategy? I just go in there and I just go, hey, what button does what, guys? And I try to figure it out as I go. Is that a good idea for me? Good strategy?
No, it's not.
Well, that's what you're doing with these resumes. Well, can I get impatient, and I don't actually, I just go online and I just fill it out. I'm playing the job lottery. It's like the old lady at the slot machine in the casino, right? She puts her little coins in and she pulls it. She goes, oh, please, please, God, help me get the jackpot. That's your strategy right now.
I see. Yeah.
Why?
No, that makes perfect sense.
I have a theory. I think you're afraid to really go for it. And so you get into that situation. You find these jobs that actually exist that I think because of your software engineer experience, you can actually do these jobs, and yet there's something inside of you that goes, I don't know, it's kind of a long shot, and so you act like it's a long shot. Am I about right? I'm okay if I'm wrong. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
What's the other part of it?
Another part of it is that I want to start up my own business of being a content creator, making animations, video games, and comic books.
Okay. How long is it going to take to get that up and running to where you're making real money? Best guess.
Yeah, it'll take a couple of years.
Okay. So, two things. In this case, and many times I'll go, nope, you're not ready to start that. And financially, you're not ready to put all your eggs in that basket, meaning that can't be your full-time gig. You will starve. You know it and I know it. But do not be discouraged by that. What you need to do is start animating and creating things on the side. But you need a full-time gig right now to get stabilized. You also need to get a full-time gig, ideally, even if you're not designing video games, but if you're supporting a video game company in something that you're already good at, software engineer, and this is above my pay grade, okay? But we need to get you in the video game industry. That's our first goal, to get you in. In other words, we want to get you on the ladder, and then we climb the ladder. Now, while we're doing that, you can start this little side hustle, but it's all extra time. And we start working at it like I did when I went into broadcasting at the age of 33. No experience, no degree. I had a day job running my own company, and then I was doing high school football play-by-play on the internet. There were 2 people listening to that. Nick?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One was my wife because she was a good woman, and the other one was the kid next to me. But that's where I started. And I was doing it on my time, extra time. So I want you to start this Nick Video Game Animation Inc. It's a terrible company name, but you get my point. Start it today. Yeah. Start it today. But we're not trying to live off of it. We're just trying to get our juices flowing and let's get some really good experience, because people laugh when I tell that story about doing high school football play-by-play on the internet. And it's funny because nobody was listening. But I wasn't doing it for an audience. I had to learn how to broadcast. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yes.
So if you want to be a really, really gifted video game designer, we got to start somewhere. So I don't care if anybody buys any of the things you design over the next year, because they're not really doing it for pay. We're doing it for experience. So that's track one. Go ahead and start your thing, man. And if you get better at it, and try to sell it. If somebody buys it from you or wants your thing, great, it's gravy. But let's also start applying and using the proximity principle. And let's make connections in the video game industry and get you a job. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you better believe that you can do it, or you won't stay with it long enough. See, I get impatient. I get a little irritable when I hear that. But I understand. But we can't be impatient, Nick. We're talking about the dream. We're talking about your Mount Everest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we be impatient when we're trying to scale to our professional pinnacle?
No, you can't.
No.
Got to take a step at a time.
Step at a time. So what are your steps going forward? Now you've heard me kind of preach at you. What do you think your steps are?
Well, start my side gig, but, don't put the main focus on that at the moment.
Got that. Yep.
Just, take the time to fill out, look at my resume, put it as detailed as I can, match it with the job description, maybe write up a cover letter.
Come on. I've got all those resources for you. Use the Ken Coleman templates. They're $9.99. There's 6 of them. They're selling like hotcakes. It's based on my total redo of a resume. Never seen a resume like it. I heard from one of our team today that her 19-year-old kid, Joe, got a job working for a construction company, and the dude had never seen a resume like that before. Well, no construction contractor had ever seen a resume like ours. Blew him away. Couldn't stop talking about it. So go to kencoleman.com, get the templates, do it exactly how I tell you to do it. Get the free How to Write the Perfect Resume guide. We give you a free template, and then for $10, you can get 6 more fabulous design stuff by our designers here, and you're going to stand out. But it's not about the resume. The resume is worthless without relationships. I'm going to give you a copy of my best-selling book, The Proximity Principle, because this is what the Proximity Principle says, Nick. You ready?
Yes, sir.
In order to do what Nick wants to do, video game programming, Nick has got to be around people that do that work and be in places where that work is happening. Now, that's mind-blowingly simple, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
Wait a second, Ken. You're telling me the proximity principle just says I got to be around people that are doing the work I want to do and be in places like get around companies, volunteer, show up, shadow, do whatever it takes to get around people that are doing that work in those places? Yeah, because guess what? The right people plus the right places equals opportunity. Stay on the line. Amanda, let's give him whatever format of the book he wants. That's why I wrote the book. Let me tell you this. I don't care who you are or what industry you're in. If you tell me, Ken, I just can't catch a break, man. I just I'm submitting resumes. I just can't get any interviews. I'm going to get in your face, and I'm going to tell you that you are not hanging around the right people and you are not in the right places. Because here's what I know. If you're not around the right people who are doing the kind of work you want to do, if you're not in the right places, companies, finding ways to get into and meet people in those companies where that work is happening, opportunity cannot and will not find you. Can't. Little mini rant. One of the phrases that we use, it's a popular phrase we use, drives me bananas. He was in the right place at the right time. As if success is all about sheer luck for a few fortunate souls. Now that guy over there got a great job. Right place, right time. Like a horseshoe fell out of heaven and hit him on the head. Drives me crazy. Here's the truth. Successful women and men have figured out that opportunities come to them when they're around the right people in the right places. So here's what happens. When I'm around the right people and I'm in the right places, the right time happens. It's not the right time. Just shows up and randomly gets us out of our slumber in the hammock with a glass of sun tea and crumbs all over our chin. Well, I just kind of was hanging out and fate came along. That is absolute hot, stinking garbage. But when I'm in the right places and I'm around the right people, the right time finds me. If you want to catch a train and you're not booking it online, where do you go? You go to the train station. Why do you go to the train station? Because I know that the train is going to show up. That's what we're talking about. Stop making this thing so daggum hard. But just submitting resumes online and emailing people on LinkedIn and then sitting back going, well, I emailed 50 people on LinkedIn. I posted on social media that I'm looking for a job. I applied 200 times last month, Ken. And we wonder why opportunities aren't knocking on our door. Come on, folks. It's about intentionality. Stop making this thing so stinking difficult. Will the job search be hard? Well, of course it's going to be hard because rejection is involved, getting ignored, all of the things, getting passed over. I get it's hard, but it's not difficult to figure out. You stay with it, and you stay with it the right way, you will win.